So this is the Feddersen 16¼ inch bull barrel as their particular SEP rifling and some other stuff they do to make it particular to them. Not much you can find about it to read about, but yet it's out there. And where I do find discussion on it, it seems to be very positive. So, as before, this barrel was placed on here as a test to see if you're going to improve on this 1022, would this be the appropriate next step? So, on recommendations of some what I view as serious shooters who look at Kidd and Quartzen and Feddersen all in the same commentary, makes sense to give it a try. So today was the test firing on this barrel in front of a Kidd bolt. On a tandem cross trigger group which I built, and let's see what it looked like. So we started out with some CCI standard velocity just to begin fouling it in. These are all at 25. It's the very first group right here in the middle of the screen. Not bad. I mean, it's only 25 yards, but not bad. The next group, we walked it down into this particular target right here. So the first two in the 2 o'clock position are walking shots to get down in there. Again, no foulers before this. These are all first shots. Came over here, shot 5 more at 25. Made quite the bug hole here. A 5-shot group, again at 25 yards. This is the 4th group of 5. Fifth group of 5. Thought that was pretty close enough. We took it out to 50. It's our first 50-yard shot with CCI standard velocity. Definitely under ½ an inch of MOA. We finished up with this 10-shot group here. The final bunch, just barely over ½ an inch, top to bottom, and pretty snug left to right. Still not bad for an initial group. At this point, we're only about 40 rounds into seasoning this particular firearm. We then went down the road here to the other ammunitions I've used on other barrels, other guns, etc. So the left side will always be the first group, fouling group. Sometimes the fouling group is actually better than the purpose group. SK Standard Plus, a little crazy on the height there, but nice and narrow. Crazy vertical string, but nice and narrow horizontally. And came up with sub MOA, or sub ½ inch, let's just say, at 50 yards. Moved to the SK semi-automatic. Again, a little wonky on the first. Much better on the second. SK rifle match. It is highly probable that first one on the left was left lower, about the 7 o'clock position was me. Trigger's nice and light, and every now and then I'm not ready for it to go off. And part of the problem, I think, with the Discovery scope on here, even at full magnification, the dot in the center of the crosshairs is so tiny, it is hard to hold on the point of aim, which is right here at 50 yards in a dim lit underground tunnel. 100-yard, the tunnels are 100 yards long. I was set at 50 yards. There's some fluorescent type lighting above the target as you put it out the distance, and that tiny little dot, even at full magnification with a first focal plane scope, is tough to see. I did not measure that flyer. I guess I did measure the flyer in this one at 0.44, but I should take that out and see what the group size is after that. Second one opened up a little bit, but not bad. Next was the Eley semi-automatic bench rest outlaw. This has worked pretty good in other guns, but not necessarily in this barrel. I mean, it's snugged up pretty good out here, but it's still pretty wide. Eley club. Second one came in a little bit, still raggedy, but it's in there. Back to CCI standard velocity. Now between these, I ran a VFG wool pellet through the barrel just to clean out some of the gunk of the previous round's lubricant. So if I shot all SK in a row, I didn't do anything with it. If I moved to something that was paraffin or something else, I swabbed the barrel at least once. So Fowler rounds, and then again, the standard velocity did come in pretty nice and tight there. We moved into Eley contact. Now, I've had good luck with this and a lot of stuff I've shot, but its first fouling group here, pretty rough. Pulled in pretty snug later. Still a little raggedy as compared to what I've shot before. First, a bunch of Eley team. Now we're going from paraffin-based lubricant to the target or match type ammo from Eley, which the lubricant is a combination of beef tallow and beeswax. Fouling, not too bad. Second rounds, not too bad. The left to right spread on some of these guaranteed is me, with me letting my forefinger rest on the stock instead of keeping it away from there. Or as they say in Appleseed, dragging wood if you're on a wood stock with that finger being pressed up against the stock. Match ammo from Eley, again, not too bad. Team and match, some of the best so far, and the CCI standard velocity. So then I went to the top three. So the top one with some rough measurements was Eley team. We can see here that flyer was definitely me. That was an accidental double tap. So I did not count that one in the group. Over here, got a little wider. Moved down to Eley match. Again, not changing, doing any swabs between these because the lubricant is the same. A little crazy at first, but snugged right in pretty nice there. These are all 5-shot groups. And then the SK Standard Plus. I swabbed the barrel on this one because now we're switching from the beef tallow and the beeswax to the Eley chemical lubricant, whatever that is made of. Not all too bad. So we look at it, we're only 160 rounds into seasoning and shooting a new barrel. So even though the time in the range is mostly limited to 1 hour, nobody came and told me to pack up, so I started shooting some other stuff. Tried the Eley target. Not overall too bad, but not great. Did snug up a little bit here. The dreaded Eley Ultra. Still have some of that around. Really not too bad. I mean, this is 50 yards through a Feddersen barrel. It didn't do really well in the Bergara BMR barrel. It's a Spanish-made barrel, and it shoots pretty darn good at distance. Again, snugged up a little bit in some dimensions, but pretty much gave the same. I'm probably never going to buy any more of this again, but I'm wondering how this would do at further distances, since they say you really shouldn't shoot this at 100 yards or less. SK Standard. These are all 5-shot groups here. This is a 10-shot group. Not too bad. Another 10-shot group. I guarantee you that stringing is my finger dragging on the stock. So target was pretty much what I expected. The Ultra was pretty snug in some cases, a little bit better than I expected. And the SK Standard, I expect it to do this as long as I do my part. So now we're at roughly 170 rounds. Move back over to the SK Standard, which is really perturbing because here it gets a little crazy again. Right after shooting it on a previous target, then snugs in. Not a bad grouping there. 2 in the bowl, 3 surrounding. Tried some Norma TAC 22. Not much in here. I decided to just not even pursue this one any further on this particular barrel. After it's seasoned and really shooting well, I might go back and try that in some Norma Match. I just didn't have time today. The Norma Match might have done really good, or the Norma TAC 22 black box. I still have some of that. That might have looked different, but really didn't have as much time today as I would like. RWS target rifle didn't do well in the previous barrel. Didn't do that great here. If you're plinking, probably good stuff, but not at, what is it, $8 a box kind of thing. So then I went back to Eley team and settled down for 10-round groups until I had to leave. Fouling round after swabbing the barrel with the VFG wool pellets. First batch of team through, 10-round shot, 10-round group. Decided to shoot that again, another 10-shot group. I mean, I'm expressly satisfied with what I'm getting on the barrel of this gun. I mean, till we got finished on this, the number of rounds put through were only 280 rounds. On the road to seasoning and hitting the sweet spot, we're pretty far away. And I am not unhappy with this, considering the eye fatigue I had with a tiny little dot on that scope. That scope may have to go to a plinking rifle. I can't see using it for anything else. Here we have a good Eley team 10-shot group. Then over here, wham, hit a great one. The flyer was definitely me. That was like number 9 or 10, I can't remember, when I just came out onto the reset of the trigger and adjusted slightly to get centered on my point of aim, point of impact, and squoze that off accidentally. But still, that is a proper group in my mind. Let me know what you think. So I repeated some contact. Now we switched from the beef tallow and beeswax lubricant to a paraffin based on Eley contact, the cheapest they sell. And in this, I mean, I'm happy with this. That is a terrific group from a $5 box of ammunition. It's what I'm used to, and boy, did it perform on that. Great group. Love to shoot that stuff for practice trigger time. And then decided to end it up with SK Standard Plus one more time. And although there's some vertical stringing in there, could be SD issues, I'm not sure. I've done no testing on these boxes at all. Just shoot them for testing purposes. I'm happy with that particular group as well. So I can't complain after, I mean, look at these 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There were only 220 rounds shot before this page. And I think overall, team, and I ran out of match, or I would have shot match again. I'm happy with that. For swabbed, clean, dry, taken on its first voyage of slinging lead. I think it did really well. FJ Feddersen 16¼ inch bull barrel. What do you guys think? Anybody out there shooting this thing? I am pleasantly pleased, and gonna have to go to Elevated Gunworks one more time. Keep zinging through the ammo on all these test runs. Great place to deal with. Great barrel, great ammo, great bolt, great home-built trigger group. Outside of all the pieces that are in there from tandem cross, anything else that's left from OEM was polished. But actually, I think the only thing in there, actually there's nothing left. I replaced the disconnect from tandem cross. I rebuilt that entire trigger group with all tandem cross internals. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what your experiences were with Feddersen barrels. What do you think of these groups for first sprint out of the gate to try this thing out? Tomorrow we'll be out to the range in the cold weather with the Bergara BMR to sight that thing in with a different lot of ammunition for the upcoming NRL 22 match. And the one thing I did forget to mention, back here when we shot the rifle match, these are two separate. This actually, to remind me, is not a Fowler bunch and a secondary bunch. I'm almost out of rifle match for the upcoming shoot. I could only afford 5 out of the ammo I'm shooting this coming weekend, and I had 5 left from another lot number. It's late in the year. I kind of doubt my ability to pursue this lot number is going to be great on that SK rifle match. Hopefully it performs like that in the 25-degree mornings we've been having at the next NRL. So again, pretty happy with just the number of rounds that have been put through, and the FJ Feddersen barrel, the Kid bolt. Let me know, what do you think?